Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, would you believe it? But it's a year to the day since Jeremy Corbyn was elected leader of the Labour Party. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Or it's been extremely busy. It's fair to say he's had an eventful 12 months. Here's our Adam indulging in a spot of nostalgia.
Choose a new Labour leader.
Things can, and they will, change.
Choose a strong oratory style.
We need to be investing in skills, investing in our young people. And a strong message here.
Choose a new way of doing PMQs.
And so I sent out an email to thousands of people and asked them what questions they would like to put to the Prime Minister.
Choose victory in numerous by-elections, mayoral and council elections, which you celebrate in rousing style.
We were getting predictions that Labour was going to lose councils. We didn't. We hung on.
Choose your friends.
To assist Comrade Osborne in his dealings with his newfound comrades, I brought him along Mao's little red book.
Choose your enemies.
I feel I've served in the best way I can. Today I had to go.
Choose your favourite band.
Thank you to UB40 for this incredible endorsement.
Choose your favourite food.
However busy I am, my allotment is tended. It's in good order. We had a good crop of broad beans and we ate them the other night. We had a lovely bean soup.
Just be careful when you go train spotting.
Today this train is completely ram-packed. The staff on the train are absolutely brilliant, working really hard to help everybody. The reality is there's not enough trains. We need more of them, and they're also incredibly expensive.
Well, where has all the time gone? Joining us to reflect on Jeremy Corbyn's first year is Tarry, director of his leadership campaign. Welcome to the programme. What would you say is his biggest achievement?
I think actually some of the U-turns that he's forced out of the government, you know, personal independence payments, also in fact Ian Duncan Smith, the fact that he wasn't able to remove the sort of prerequisite of having income as a definition around poverty, I think was incredibly important as well.
So you think he has presided over a period where Labour has formed a justifiably strong opposition?
I think it could obviously be improved. I don't think anyone would say otherwise, but quite clearly for me, you know, there's been a dramatic change in British politics and he's at the head of that.
Would you agree with that, Gisela?
Well, there has been a change in politics in terms of membership. You're absolutely right there. But where we have taken the eye off the ball is that clear determination that whatever your values, whatever your membership, unless you have a chance of forming a government, you can't translate it into practice. And that's going to be our challenge between the MPs and the members. Don't blame each other. Just say we have a collective aim, and to reflect our values, we have to do more than just that at Westminster.
I completely agree with you, and to be honest, I can't wait to get those MPs actually having gone back to their constituencies, having seen sense, seen the strength of feeling amongst their own membership, to actually come back on board and take that opposition to the government, because their constituents deserve it more than anyone else.
Heidi, do you think it was actually Labour MPs and Jeremy Corbyn who got those U-turns out of the government, or was it down to Tory MPs?
Well, I'm not a natural gloater, but I did find myself going, Pip, tax credits. I think I was a little bit involved in that. I really like Jeremy as a human being. He is most definitely showing a different way to behave. You know, and I came into politics determined not to behave in the old-fashioned ways of he said, she said, what you did, what I did, because I'm not interested in that. But as you say, he has to be competent, and I fear he is massively out of his depth in a party, political and parliamentarian way. He is not leading his party, and he needs to do that. It's the voters that matter, not just the MPs, not just the members. I think Francis O'Grady said that. And without the voters, you are completely powerless. You're just a soapbox.
And obviously that is backed up by the polls. I mean, the polls are dramatic in terms of support for Labour. I mean, they're 11 points behind the Conservatives. He, in terms of favourability, Jeremy Corbyn, is 64 points behind Theresa May. They're dreadful.
Yeah, and I have to say, if the party hadn't been tearing itself apart over the last sort of few months, I think we'd be in a much better position. I mean, clearly...
Do you think his favourability rating would be better?
I think clearly Jeremy, you know, was actually doing a lot better before the coup, and I think no one wants to vote for a party that its majority MPs are just attacking its leader on a non-stop sort of basis. I think people like me get fed up of coming on this programme. We want to put in place a programme when Jeremy wins next week to ensure that we go into government, and actually I want those MPs back on board to do that.
Right, is it the infighting, is it the divisiveness, or is it Jeremy Corbyn?
The infighting is a reflection of that we have not got enough a voice for those people who have got the right to expect that we represent them and stand up for them. And our challenge, and you're quite right that after the leadership election we need to come together and not talk to each other all the time, but actually talk to those who want to vote for us. And that has to be a joint effort from both sides.
Who are you voting for?
Well, I've got a particular problem because my politics is not where Jeremy is, and Owen Smith promises a second referendum. And I think that at this stage, I look at the ballot paper and still scratch my head, quite frankly.
Right, well, what's going to be more important to you? You've just said that you don't think Jeremy can lead in that sense. The party's been talking to itself. And Owen Smith, obviously, you disagree with him completely over Europe. So somewhere you're going to have to make a decision.
Well, fortunately, on this occasion, my vote is only one vote amongst the other millions.
Sure.
And whatever the decision is, I will work with whoever gets elected.
Right, you will. And what do you say to the MPs who have voted for no confidence in Jeremy Corbyn in the past? Do you think they should do the same?
I think if now that you had the second election, we need to work together. But that actually puts the onus on the leader to make sure that they have followers. It is completely wrong to assume that it is the responsibility of the followers to follow their leader. It is the leader's responsibility to reach out and make sure that those people who are with him are their followers.
Do you think something like Traingate, where there was a row over whether there were seats on the train Jeremy Corbyn was travelling on and he was filmed sitting on the floor, was that a low point?
I wouldn't say so. Jeremy actually, amongst the party membership, done quite well after that, and I think actually in the full course of time, I think actually what really happened there will probably come out. I think what's more interesting for me is we're looking forward now to speaking to MPs and saying, look, we've got to make this work. We want to make it work. We hope that they want to make it work. We know their constituents want them desperately to make it work, and so now we need to start looking forward to actually what can be in the manifesto, what our party can look like, and how on earth do we use these 600,000 people and the fact that the Labour Party's got more money than it's ever had before to fight a general election. That's what we're interested in.
But Heidi said it's not just about the members, it's about the voters. It is about a parliamentary party. Has Jeremy Corbyn really succeeded? Well, he clearly hasn't with his MPs, we know that, but he hasn't really succeeded in reaching out to voters beyond the Labour Party membership.
I actually think that Jeremy's message on the economy, his message of reaching out to communities, the sort of communities I come from in East London, that voted for Brexit in very large numbers, that we need to win the next election, actually are more prepared to listen to Jeremy.
So why is it not translating in the polls? In fact, it's not just not translating, he's going the other way.
Because at the moment we've obviously been having an inward-facing contest and we haven't had the chance to face outward. And I think everyone recognises, and this is why we're very confident that MPs will see sense and come back on board, that we need to face outward and go and take that message of economic renewal out to those communities that voted Brexit.
In terms of the shadow cabinet elections, which was the proposal that was voted on by the Labour MPs, whether or not it actually goes ahead, we've yet to see. Would you like to see members electing people to the shadow cabinet?
All you have then is you will have kind of slates being run, and you go back to the battles of the 80s where the kind of interest groups think it's a delegation. You know, I was elected to exercise my judgment on behalf of my constituents. Once I'm elected, I've got a responsibility to represent the entire constituency as a Labour MP with those values. And the real difficulty which we face is there's a perception of that there's a world inside the M25 circle and there's a world outside the M25. And the challenge for the Labour Party is to reach out to the sections outside M25, and that is something the leader has to take responsibility for.
Yeah, and I'm absolutely looking forward to do that. I genuinely do believe that his policies and his strategy can reach out to those communities beyond the M25, absolutely.
Well, let's see. Sam Tarry, thank you.
Thanks very much.
I've been getting